Hassan al-Basri says, your life is just a counted number of breaths. Every time you breathe, you're one breath closer to your death. But the question is this. My question to you today is this. Why is it that if the doctor tells you you have 5 days to live, or the doctor tells you you have a terminal illness, you're willing to change your life? But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you you have a terminal illness, you ignore it. Allah says, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. Every soul, we translate it as will taste death. But Allah doesn't say every soul will taste death. He doesn't say كُلُّ نَفْسٍ سَتَذُوقُ الْمَوْتِ. He says كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. And ذَائِقَة is ismu fa'il, something in the Arabic language that signifies progression, that's constantly occurring. Allah is telling you that you are all of us, every soul is tasting death. Is tasting death. But why is it that we don't change when Allah tells us this, but we do when a human being tells us this? Brothers and sisters, life is full of distractions, full of things that can take you away from your purpose, your ultimate purpose in life. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the students who prepare, who spend the hours in the library studying over their books, so when the exam time comes, they're ready, they have a smile on their face. You know, when Asiyah bint Muzahim, the wife of Fir'aun, when Fir'aun found out she was a believer, you know what he did? He goes out to the people and he says, what do you say about Asiyah bint Muzahim, my wife? And they begin praising her. She's this, she's that, she's amazing. She's your wife. She's Fir'aun. You can't say anything bad in front of Fir'aun. He says, إِنَّهَا تَعْبُدُ رَبًّا غَيْرِي. You know what? She worships someone other than me. She worships a Lord other than me. So he has her brought out. And they pin her to the ground. Her arms and her legs pinned to the ground. And they begin beating her and torturing her. And they bring a huge boulder. And they place it on top of her. And as she's getting close to passing away, as she's getting close to her soul's about to leave her body, she pleads with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She cries out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She says, رَبِّ ابْنِ لِي عِنْدَكَ بَيْتًا فِي الْجَنَّةِ وَنَجِّنِي مِنْ فِرْعَوْنَ وَعَمَلِهِ وَنَجِّنِي مِنَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. She cries out to Allah and says, oh my Lord, my desire, I've prepared for this moment. I've prepared for this moment. Now when my exam time has come, exam is here, you know what my desire is, oh my Lord? That you build me a home in paradise, but not just any home. I want to be next to you in paradise. I want to be right next to you in paradise. And you know what happened? Before she passed away, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened the skies. And she saw what no eye has ever seen. She saw what no eye has ever seen. She saw her home in Jannah before she passed away. And when she saw her home, as the tortures being inflicted upon her feeble body, she began crying. She began laughing. And Fir'aun says, أَتَعْجَبُونَ مِن جُنُونِهَا إِنَّا نُعَذِّبُهَا وَهِيَ تَضْحَكُ. How crazy is she? We're torturing her and she's laughing. She's laughing. Why? ضَاحِكَةٌ مُسْتَبْشِرَةٌ. Some faces will be laughing and rejoicing because they've succeeded. Everything else, whatever sacrifices you had to make, at the end of the day, if you succeed, you will be amongst those who Allah says, لِسَعِهَا رَاضِيَةٌ. With their efforts, they're pleased. Brothers and sisters, this is just a simple reminder. That's the goal of this talk. To remind us of the reality of this world and to bring us back to our senses, to not be taken away from the ultimate goal and reality of this world. To work. لِمِثْلِ هَذَا فَلْيَعْمَلِ الْعَامِلُونَ. لِمِثْلِ هَذَا فَلْيَعْمَلِ الْعَامِلُونَ. For this, let those who are going to work. So work for the sake of Allah. Get back involved in the masjid. Bring the communities together, the families together. Take your families to the masajid and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again. Bring life to your life. As if someone who's been told that they're going to die at any moment. And you will find a life of happiness, a life of joy, and you will find death to be a moment that you will meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and inshallah ta'ala you will be pleased with what you put forth. وَأَقُولُ قَوْلِي هَذَا وَأَسْتَغْفِرُ اللَّهَ لِي وَلَكُمْ جَزَاكُمُ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا.